Tonight's episode of TWITS is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
A little bit. And go. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the Week 11 edition of TWITS. Joining us once again from his palatial estate in Brownwood, Texas, with his 3 luxury sleds in the driveway, the Bella Caroli of Brownwood, Mr. Mike Paddock. How are you, sir?
Howdy, doing fine. Week 1 of the No Shave November. I don't know if you can tell, I kind of look like Brett Favre. We got the little gray showing there.
Look like Black Jock Shellac.
I try.
Mike, we're in Week 11. Last night, the Packers moved to, 9-0?
9-0 on the old border rival weekend.
Heard an interesting stat, Mike. Did you know that the 3 Wisconsin quarterbacks this weekend between college and pro had as many touchdowns as incompletions? They had 8 touchdown passes and 8 incompletions between Matty Flynn, Matty Ice, Aaron Rodgers, and Russell Wilson. Thought that was a pretty interesting stat.
Impressive.
Yes. Mike, why don't we get right to the segment we call News and Notes for Week 11. Last week, threw out a little bit of trivia to everyone. A couple of interesting facts I stumbled across, and one of the questions I asked is what 2 position players had been drafted in all 15 or 14 of the previous drafts since 1996, Mike. And the answers to that, Mike, Tony Gonzalez has been drafted in every draft since 1996. And T.O., Terrell Owens, was the other one. First time he was not drafted was this year. So he had made 14 in a row up to this point. So that was a little bit of trivia that we touched on last time.
Another question is, the people that drafted T.O. or Gonzalez, how many of those made the playoffs?
That's a sub-query that I'll have to take a look at, Mike. And one note before we move on. Other than that, nothing really of note on the site or anything, but my son wanted me to mention to you that in your other ESPN league out of Texas, he had taken you down twice so far this year, and he just wanted me to bring that to your attention on TWITS.
Yeah, he needs to smack talk me on the site. What the heck?
I know. I'll let him know, but he's doing it vicariously through me. Passive-aggressive, just like his dad.
Oh, yeah, get his dad to do the dirty work. Exactly.
All right, Mike, let's take a look at the weekly rewind for Week 10. We had Fred squaring off against Greg, and I believe their second ever meeting, and Greg takes it 79-56 on the strength of Arian Foster's 21 points. We had Team Evan taking out Team Mickey 45-36. Dan Bailey chipping in with 14 for Team Tiesburg. Tim takes out the commish 66-58 on Michael Bush's 17. Mike takes out league leader Tom 62-47. Jordy Nelson leading the way for Team Mike, 15 points. And last but not least, Wayne takes out that 56-44. The Gronk, Rob Gronkowski, chipping in with 17 to lead the way for Wayne in that victory. Mike, let's take a look. Let's take a look ahead at a little segment we like to call On Tap for Week 11.
Yes, coming up on tap. Let's hope that my confidence pool is a little bit better this week. I went 0 for last week.
I think I had 1 point, but I think I had like a 2-point lead, and that's pretty much where I'm at. I think everyone kind of sucked in that thing last week.
So we got to review this. Check out these. Check out what's on tap and dig deep into the stats for this one. We got Wayne Bago against Tom's Brixton Sky with our number 1 matchup of 7-3 teams. Bago with 588 points on the season, and Tom was 661. So he's got him by about 80 points, and he leads that all-time series. Tom does 916 to 911, so it's pretty tight there. Wayne leads that series though, 14-11, and Wayne won 6 of the last 7 to get to that point. So if anyone knows how to play Tom, it must be Bago.
Uh-huh.
And then we're coming back with Fred in the second meeting against the commish, the best icons in the business, the 1% with old Monty Burns there.
Release the hounds.
Release the hounds. Fred coming in at 5-5 with 535, and you were at 7-3 at 584. All-time points. You must have won the first matchup 64-43 a couple weeks ago. Then Thad. Oh, we got another Simpsons reference with Vote Quimby. Thad at 6-4, 506 points against Evan at 3-7, 407. A little resurgent Evan coming on here. Now that he's got a defense to play. Thad's leading that all-time series by 7 points, so 1063 to 1056, and the game's 19-13. So he won 6 of the last 8 to get to there. So it looks like those have been pretty tight matchups too. And then Mickey going against the powerful Hoa. Mickey coming in at 3-7 at 504, and Greg at 6-4, 575. Greg has 1143 to Mickey's 1029 points all time, and leads that series 17-14, winning the last 9 matchups in the series. And rounding out the old basement barrel here, we got Cranky Pants Tim at 3-7, 517 points against me and my hot tub time machines at 3-7 at 572. All-time points go to me, 844 to 819, and the series 13-11, winning 5 of the last 6 to get to that point. We'll see if I can keep that rolling. That's what's on tap.
All right, excellent. Let's take a look, Mike, at a segment called the Record Setters. Not too much stirring last week in terms of records. We had most QB points all time with number 6. Sixth ranked all time. Fred sets that mark thanks to a Matty Flynn touchdown run, I believe.
That prevented him from owing a Sud's summary right there.
Yeah. Matty Ice pays off, I tell you. And then most quarterback points all time in the league, 122 points among all owners. That's good enough for 7th all time, and that's the only records set in Week 10.
I didn't add too much to that either.
I didn't do much either. Mike, let's take a look at the premium password for this week. Password is Joe, and starting next Tuesday, so for week, what would that be, week 12? Yes.
Yeah.
Next Tuesday, week 12, password will be Turkey. Turkey Day coming up, Mike. Big football game on Turkey Day this year. Normally the Lions are not relevant on the scene, and if they play many more games like they did last week, they probably won't be. But I'm assuming they'll take care of the Panthers this week and then set up a big matchup, hopefully, with the undefeated Packers. So we'll see if that pans out. Mike, Coors Light, representing the Northern Tier states this week. We're back to the sponsor.
We're back to the old Dundee. We got the sample pack, so we got the English style ale. It tastes like a bitter to me, and I like it.
All right.
I like it a lot.
Where's that one out of?
Dundee's out of, I think it was Buffalo. No, Rochester, New York, sorry.
Rochester, New York, all right. Mike, let's go to everyone's tertiary favorite segment. A little segment we like to call Chalk Talk. And last week, after getting back on the winning track, we have skidded off the tracks again. Still representing, though, at 6-3. You'll take that in Vegas anytime. At the point 666. Took a little loss on SMU last week. Did not show up against Navy and took a 24-17 loss against Navy. A bad loss for that resurgent SMU program. Mike, but we're gonna capitalize on their horrible disfigurement, and we're actually going to stay in the state of Texas, Mike. This week, Houston is playing host to SMU, and only laying 19.5 points. Houston is a offensive juggernaut at this point. They have really picked it up late in the year, scored 73 last week. And SMU, I think, will be able to score some points on Houston, but I don't think they're going to be able to stay within 20, Mike. So we're going to go with the Houston Cougars this week. David Klinger's alma mater, and lay the 19.5. And go ahead and book that one, Mikey.
And is Houston still ranked? I thought they were top 20 at least.
They have done nothing to hurt their ranking. So, yeah, I think they did crack the top 25, so I'm assuming they're still there. Unless the Gophers have passed them. Mike, we have Dog of the Week. You also 6-3 now. Much like the commish suffers a loss, had Buffalo plus 5.5, and much like SMU chose not to even show up to the party, so they took the beat down at the hands of the Cowboys. So once again, we're both 6-3 now. What do you got for us this week in the old Dog of the Week?
Yeah, it wasn't even close, and I blame the lack of a stash. The power of the stash, I got to start growing that back. So for this week's game of the week, or sorry, Dog of the Week, see, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore.
I know.
I'm going to go with a little AFC North matchup.
Ooh.
I believe. We got Cincinnati heading into Baltimore.
Palmer.
And Baltimore is kind of, I don't know, they're up and down, Jekyll and Hyde, they're reeling a little bit. But they're laying 7 to Cincinnati. I kind of like the rookie Andy Dalton. So I'm looking for Cincinnati to at least keep it close. And if Baltimore has another brain fart like they did the last couple times I've bet on them, look for a Cincinnati win. But take Cincinnati and the points.
How many points are they getting again?
7.
7. All right. So get them. Stay within a touchdown. All right, Mike. Well, that moves us to game of the week, and Mr. Paddock makes a little comeback there. Takes the Pats to move to 5-4. I took the Jets to fall to 6-3. This week we are going to go with a inter-conference matchup, Mike. The Lightning Bolts of San Diego coming in town to face the resurgent Chicago Bears. How do you see that one shaking out?
Resurgent they are. They're looking a little scary in the NFC North there. They finally figured out how to use Jay Cutler. Don't let him throw too damn much. And Matt Forte having a heck of a year. Is getting a big payday at the end of the season, so he's running his legs off. So I'm going to stick with the home team there and go with Chicago. San Diego hasn't shown me much in the last couple of weeks, getting trounced, or actually the defense got trounced by the Packers, and then last week they didn't bother showing up. So take Chicago.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and agree with you, Mike. I think watched that San Diego-Oakland game while playing QB1 last week with young Boncher, and yeah, San Diego's run defense was non-existent, and that doesn't bode well in the Windy City against Forte. And Phillip Rivers has yet to find his rhythm, that's for sure. I don't think the probable weather conditions in Soldier Field are going to help his accuracy any. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Bears by at least a touchdown on that one also. So we'll see how that one shakes out. All right, well, I think that just about wraps up the Week 11 edition of Twits, Mike. Thanks for joining us once again, and with that, we'll say goodnight, and we'll talk to you and everyone else back here for the Week 12 edition of Twits next week.
Adios.
Adios.